Today, we're going to discuss a character with a pseudonym that was used by a number of other heroes of DC Universe, and that is Sandman. Wesley Dodds is the first DC Comics fictional character to bear the name of the Sandman. Attired in a green business suit, fedora, and gas mask, the Sandman uses a gun emitting a slipping gas to sedate criminals. He starts out as a mystery man, but eventually develops into a more standard superhero, becoming a founder of the Justice Society of America. Another version of the Sandman is Dr. Garrett Sanford, a UCLA psychology professor. This Sandman was originally intended to be the actual Sandman of popular myth, Eternal and Immortal. The Sandman is assisted by two living nightmares named Brute and Glob, whom he releases from domed cells with the help of a magic whistle. They are nuisances who beg for release, who are intent on hand-to-hand combat but are implied to be relatively harmless and well-intentioned once freed. Using security monitoring devices, the Sandman can enter the dream stream or the reality stream, in which he acts like the superhero he looks like, and carries a pouch of dream dust with which he can cause anyone to sleep and dream. The Sandman's main task is protecting children from the nightmare monsters within their dreams, especially one young boy named Jed, who lives with his grandfather, Ezra Paulson, as well as to ensure that children have an appropriate level of nightmares rather than dealing with such anxieties in real life. This Sandman also becomes an honorary member of the Justice League. The last carrier of the pseudonym was Hector Hall, formerly the Silver Scarab, who has supplanted the deceased Sanford as the Sandman, and was in fact using Sanford's body after his own was taken by the Silver Scarab. Later it is further revealed that Dream Dimension was in fact a small universe in the mind of Jed Walker, which was created by Brute and Glob, were explained as being two former servants of Dream that had escaped his realm during the Lord of Dream's long absence. It turns out that Hall has actually died some years before, and that his incarnation as the Sandman is merely a shell that Dream sucks into another part of dreaming when he defeats the two creatures. Hall goes on to be reincarnated as Dr. Fate. Like everyone mentioned above, the name Sandman is most often used to refer to Morpheus, aka the Dream. He's one of 7 archetypal beings referred to as the Endless, who embody various aspects of existence. Dream is the personification of dreams, storytelling, and because the Endless also represent the opposite of that which they personify, reality. Gaiman's Dream more closely resembles the concept of Sandman as he is portrayed in mythology than a traditional superhero genre character. In the course of Gaiman's story arcs, it is retconned that the other DC Sandman characters were in various ways derived from Morpheus or his activities. For instance, Wesley Dodds' prophetic dreams warning him of crimes and disasters are explained as an attempt by reality to fill the void left by Dream's absence from his realm during the most of 20th century, while Sanford and Hector Hall version of Sandman is the result of two nightmares trying to manipulate a human being into fulfilling the same role in the hopes that they would be able to control the new incarnation of Dream. The Endless are the children of time, and Night is the mother of at least Dream. Parents who predate all other existence have grown estranged and care little for the mortal world Dream concerns himself with. Dream came into existence once sentient life forms capable of dreaming appeared in the universe. This means that he is as old as the concept itself. Morpheus resides in the realm of dreaming, where he is surrounded by his servants, Cain, Abel, and Lucian, his librarian. As the manifestation of abstract concept, he is immortal and eternal. If we take into consideration who are the members of his entourage, we can clearly see what kind of adventures he's been through. For thousands of years, he has been visiting Earth and interacting with local deities or other historical figures such as Roman Emperor Augustus, Roman god Terminus, Shakespeare, and etc., the latter of which had contract with Dream. He would write first 2 poems specifically for him, but in exchange Dream was supposed to provide William with unlimited inspiration to finish his plays. There were many other individuals as well who received certain gifts from him. For example, Hope Gatling received immortality after Dream and his sister Death witnessed him saying in the tavern that the death was a fool's game, that he had no intention of dying. Morpheus and his sister agreed to fulfill his wish, which meant that death would stay away from him as long as Hope wanted it to be that way. Dream and Hope agreed to meet in the same tavern every 100 years. This was his attempt to see humanity on his terms. Speaking of interactions with humans, throughout the entirety of human history he had numerous lovers, such as Nada, a young African queen of an ancient kingdom. She later found that his true nature was one of the Endless spirits and turned him down. Enraged, Dream punished her by sending her to hell for eternity. Calliope, a muse of poetry that was at one point married to Dream. They had a son together called Orpheus. Titania, the queen of Fae. Titania and Dream had a brief relationship, and the last was Thessaly. She was the last of witches who had lived for thousands of years, and the only one who was never intimidated by Dream's presence. On the night of June 10th, 1916, British occultist Roderick Burgess and his Order of Ancient Mysteries accidentally summoned Dream while trying to summon an imprisoned Death. Trained from a recent odyssey, Dream was no match for Burgess, who stole his ruby, helm, and pouch and held him captive in a crystal prison in the basement of his house. Burgess hoped Dream could be coerced into setting up a trap for his sister, but Dream refused to speak to him. Dream's imprisonment led to worldwide problems. Some people slept all day, while others couldn't sleep or experienced waking dreams. Among those affected was Wesley Dodds. Those nightmares only stopped when he became the Mystery Man, Sandman, and fought crime. Later, it's confirmed that Brute and Globe were dreams that escaped dreaming during Morpheus' absence and used Hector Holt to create Sandman that was under their control. Many decades later, he manages to set himself free, but in order to claim his position as the Dream of the Endless, he must retrieve his vestments. Thus, he sets out on the quest for his belongings. On the search for his helmet, he ventures into Hell, where Dream comes across Nada. After observing her suffering, Morpheus decides to undo the mistake and rescue former lover. So after leaving Hell, he returns to Underworld one last time. This time, Lucifer is the only one to meet him, since all the souls of the damned and demons have left the place. The devil entrusts him with the key to Hell and leaves. Later, Heaven retrieves the key and frees him of his burden. One of the most notable Dream's adventures was quest for his brother Destruction. He abandoned his position as the Destruction of the Endless because he didn't want to take responsibility for humanity's demise. This was the quest where Morpheus, through his actions, brought on his own death. After a conversation with Destruction where he failed to convince his brother to return to his position, Dream returned to his son Orpheus and killed him in order to free him from the curse of immortality, since the only body part he had left was head. This was an act of mercy from Morpheus. However, in doing so, he violated divine rule which prohibited him from killing his own kin. As a result, a triad of witches, kindly ones, had marked him as their prey for that. At that point, Morpheus was tired of his life as the Dream of the Endless, but he couldn't abandon his position like Destruction did, so he chose other way out and allowed kindly ones to kill him. Despite the fact that they couldn't be stopped at this point, the Endless collected the Book of Ritual and Dream Ceremonies from Lethargy, then held a massive wake in the Dreaming. Dream's body was laid out and each member of the Endless and selected friends of Dream made speeches. His body was then put on a barge and sailed off and out of the Dreaming. Morpheus was succeeded as a new Dream by Daniel Hall, Hector Hall's son. As one of the 7 endless, inconceivably powerful beings, Dream is both the lord and personification of all dreams and stories, and all that is not in reality, which in turn Dream may define by his existence. He possesses absolute control over sleep, dreams, nightmares, and even insomnia. Morpheus could completely alter his physical appearance in order to appear to lesser beings in a guise that they could comprehend. Once Morpheus appears as Giant Black Cat when speaking to the lonely cat pilgrim of Dream of Thousand Cats, and as a cat-headed god when addressing the Egyptian feline goddess Bast. His illusions are real enough to the point where they can be physically interacted with by other beings, as dreams and reality are far closer to one another than most realize. This also includes nightmares sent as punishment. Beside the dreaming, he can effortlessly alter reality on a universal scale. He can create objects and entities to follow his every command. The dream's landscape and weather can also change simply by his current mood, and he also controls all the dreams within it. He can travel instantly anywhere in the mortal realm that people dream, and so long as he shows proper respect, he can easily enter and transit most magical realms too. Dream was able to telekinetically unlock and open a door with the snap of his finger. As the personification of all dreams in the universe, Dream was both ageless and immortal. He will continue to exist so long as one sentient being is capable of dreaming. Being an endless, Dream can only be heard by means that he allows. Besides, if an endless is destroyed, its personality and powers are instantly transmitted to another person, must become the new embodiment of that aspect. He is capable of summoning dreams, stories, and ideas and send them into the minds of others. Dream is a powerful magic user. In the dreaming, his magic has 9 omnipotent levels. Although he rarely goes into hand-to-hand combat, he once literally bowled a demon. Morpheus can heal wounds with the touch of his hand. He's very insightful. Dream has a particular talent for introducing different ideas and new concepts into people's minds and lives. As a lord of dreaming, he has a supreme talent to make creative dreams and nightmares. Despite his great powers, Dream, like the rest of the Endless, is bound to a complex set of rules and customs that limit his abilities, one which requires him not to spill the blood of family, or he is no longer protected as the personification of Dream from other personifications. Another is that he cannot fall in love with the mortal, or the mortal's downfall is assured.